Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. Today we try to discuss one very important aspect of differential calculus. Now, when we say something differential calculus, that means derivative will play a very important role in that. So today's class we discuss something which is called mean value theorem. Okay. So normally mean, what the thing implies is that it is something like average or something. So here we try to establish something like that. So there are mean value theorem. So there are two special theorems. One is Rolle's theorem, one is Lagrange mean value theorem. So let us give one geometrical idea before starting the topic. Say there are this distance, say A to B. There are two buildings are there of same height. Okay. Now if some person wants to go from this building to this building, so he or she can go like in any manner. He or she can go in straight direction or in any curved direction. Okay. So whatever be the case, if he or she will go upward, then for landing to this point, he or she has to come downward, or if he or she will go downward, so for reaching to that distance, he or she has to again move upward. So at some point should be there where some curve should be bending like that, either in this direction or in this direction. So the topmost point there, if I draw the tangent, that will be parallel to this line. This is very evident, and this is very I can say this is, you can, using common sense you can just try to understand that. So if there is some peak, there will be some down. If there will be some down, there will be some peak, because they both are in the same height. So when they both are in the same height, so if you have to maintain the height, so if you go up you have to come down, or if you go down you have to go up afterwards. So this is nothing but Rolle's theorem. So what Rolle's theorem is saying? So f is a function from A to B to R such that, number one, f is continuous on closed interval AB. Number two, f is differentiable on open interval AB. And most important point is FA equals to FB. So if these three things are happening, so continuous means from, say, this dotted line is Fx. Say this is Fx. So continuous means from A point to B point there should not be any gap. It has to be a straight continuous line. Differentiable means at each point you can able to draw a tangent. Now some question may be there that why you have not taken the closed interval AB, you have taken the open interval AB. So what is the difference between the closed interval AB and open interval AB is that open interval AB is a part of closed interval AB without A and B point, that is without the end point. The intermediate portion is called the open interval AB. So now why we have taken differentiable at open interval AB? Because if I include the end point, so after that what is the nature of the curve we don't know. So there may be multiple tangent at the end. So that's why we are not going into the confusion. So the condition is f is differentiable on AB. And last point, which is most important, FA equals to FB, that is the height at the A point. What is the FA value? So this value is FA and this value is FB. If this is so, then there exists a point C in open interval AB, that is within this A and B there is a point C, at least there exists at least a point C belongs to AB, open interval AB, that is C should not be the point A, C should not be the point B, C should be some point lying within A and B. such that f dash of c equals to 0. Now you can say that this is a point C, so f dash of C 0 means, what does that mean? So now you see, we know from the idea for tangent, if this is a curve, say y equals to fx, and if this is any point, say if the angle, so this is a point P xy and this is the angle, then tangent at the point P is dy dx, the slope of the tangent, which is nothing but tan theta. Now you think, when the tangent is parallel to x axis, so then there will be no angle between the tangent and x axis, so the angle should be either 0 or 180, you can say. So tan 0 or tan 180, that will be 0. So actually this is equals to f dash x. So f dash x will be 0 when the tangent is parallel to x axis. Now in this case, C point, the tangent is parallel to x axis, that is the AB, so f dash c has to be 0. So in this diagram, say this is C1 point, this is C2 point. So here f dash C2 equals to 0, here f dash C1 equals to 0. So the theorem is telling is that at least one point must exist between A and B where the tangent will be parallel to this x axis. So that is the geometrical interpretation of Rolle's theorem. So now let us go for a problem. Let us try to justify some Rolle's theorem with some problem. Say one of the very important and easy problem is that, so verify Rolle's theorem for fx equals to x into x minus 2 into e to the power 3x by 4 in x belongs to 0 2. So now what is my suggestion is that whenever any function will be given to you, such that you have to verify Rolle's theorem, so first you try to identify that what is the function. Here the function is clearly given and what information is given. So what is given to us? Given is the function fx, that is equals to x into x minus 2 into e to the power 3x by 4, and what information is given? A comma b is 0 comma 2, that is a equals to 0 and b equals to 2. Now you look into the function. This function is a product of two functions, okay? The first part is the polynomial function and the second part is the exponential function. Now what we know, that polynomial function is differentiable and continuous everywhere in real number. Similarly exponential function. So the product of two functions will be also continuous and differentiable in this AB, okay? So as f is a product of polynomial function and exponential function, so it must be continuous on closed interval 0 to differentiable on open interval 0 to. So first two conditions are satisfied. So I request everyone that when you try to prove, you just try to see what is the function, what is the nature, and many cases you can actually directly say that this is continuous and differentiable in the closed interval, in the open interval respectively. Now the third point is that f of a. So what is f of a? A value is 0 So it will become 0 because it is 0 into something, so it will become 0. And what is f of b? That is f of 2. So if you put 2 here, it will again become 0. So we have seen f of a equals to f of b. So the three conditions are satisfying here. That is, the function is continuous in the closed interval, the function is differentiable in the open interval, and fa equals to fb. So all three conditions or assumptions of Rolle's theorem is satisfied in the interval 0, 2. So there exists C belongs to open interval 0, 2 such that f dash C equals to 0. So according to Rolle's theorem, we can say, so if these three conditions are satisfied, so there must be some C between the open interval 0, 2 such that f dash C equals to 0. Now we have to find the C, that what may be the C value. Okay. So now, so for finding the C value, we have to find f dash x. So what is, so fx, so let us just write fx. I can write simply x square minus 2x into e to the power 3x by 4. Now if I go for f dash x, this is u into v form, so this will become 2x minus 2 into e to the power plus x square minus 2x into e to the power 3x by 4 into 3 by 4. So I think this is the idea. Now if you just take e to the power 3x by 4 common, so what you get, and divided by 4 also you can take common, so you get 8x minus 8 plus 3x square minus 6x. Okay. So basically it is e to the power 3x by 4 whole divided by 4, and this is 3x square plus 2x minus 8. Now f dash C equals to 0. So that means this is f dash x. So you have to replace x by C. So that will imply that e to the power 3c by 4 whole divided by 4, then 3c square plus 2c minus 8 equals to 0. Now exponential functions are never 0. So it is always non-zero function. So this part will never be 0. So only this part will become 0. So if I just write, so 3 8s are 24. So we have to find two factors of 24, which will give me 2, that is 6 and 4. So it will be plus 6 minus 4. So just if I take, it will be 3c, then whatever will be remaining, c plus 2 and minus 4. So here c equals to 4 by 3 and minus 2. Now you see we have got two options for c value. C equals to 4 by 3, which basically means 1 point something, okay, 1.33 like that, and this is minus 2. Now C must belongs to 0 to 2. So as C belongs to open interval 0 2, so C will be 4 by 3. That is the idea. So now look into this one. What we have done, we try to establish the conditions of Rolle's theorem. We try to understand using a diagram that what is the situation is happening, and then we take a function and we justify that okay, the three formulas, the three assumptions are satisfying. So next we can apply Rolle's theorem and we can find the value of C. There may be multiple values of C, but you have to think that which value lie within that particular interval. If all the values are lying within the particular interval, C will be all, but at least you get one value as C. So here out of 4 by 3 and minus 2, 4 by 3 will be one eligible value for C lying between 0 and 2. That's all for Rolle's theorem. So I think this is more or less like okay. So now we go for the next one, which is called Lagrange mean value theorem. So what is the Lagrange mean value theorem? It is the generalization of Rolle's theorem. But before that, you need to know some idea about this one. Say there are 2 points A whose coordinate is x1, y1 and B whose coordinate is x2, y2. Now if you join them, so what will be the slope of AB? The slope of AB will be y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So the difference in y divided by the difference in x, that is the slope of something. Now in Lagrange theorem, what is happening? One condition has been relaxed. In Rolle's theorem, it was A and B. So this was f of A, this was f of B. And in Rolle's theorem, what was happening that these two heights are same, that is f of A equals to f of B. But in Lagrange theorem, we can consider the general case when the height is not same. So say this is f of B. Okay. So this is A point. So what is the coordinate of A? So this is A comma f of A. You can think like this. This is actually x axis, this is actually y axis. So this point is A and the height is f of A, this is A comma f of A, and this will be B point, which will be B comma f of B. Now you want to move from A to B, so you can go by any way. So now also you get some point where the tangent is parallel to this line AB. So I have drawn it a bit wrong way, but this will be the thing. So now also you get some point where the tangent will be not parallel to, need not be parallel to x axis, but parallel to the line joining A and B. So that is very important. So this is the generalization of this Rolle's theorem. So what we can say here is that here the what is the condition, that the same thing. So this is Lagrange mean value theorem. So here also f is a function from say A to B to R. Here two conditions are same, that is f is continuous on closed interval AB, f is differentiable on open interval AB. But third condition is not present here because the height at the point A and the height at the point B need not be same. So this is the generalization of Rolle's. C belongs to open interval AB such that, so what will be C value? F dash C. In Rolle's theorem it was 0, now it is not 0, now it is the slope of this line. Now what is the slope? Slope means the difference in y divided by the difference in x. Now what is the difference in y? FB minus FA. So it will be f of B minus f of A divided by B minus A. Okay. So that is the idea for Lagrange mean value theorem. So now you see, in particular you see, if the heights are same, which is nothing but Rolle's theorem, that means FA equals to FB. So if you put here FA equals to FB, so this part will become 0, so F dash C will become 0, which is the Rolle's theorem which we have got. So now Lagrange mean value theorem is the general case. It is not like Rolle's theorem that height should be same. Height can be anything, but you get some point where the tangent must be parallel to the line joining A and B. So that is the basic idea for this one. So let us go for a problem. So let us give a very simple problem. Verify Lagrange mean value theorem. So many times it has been written like MVT for fx equals to x square, okay, in 1, 5. So again the same idea is there, that whenever any problem will be given in mathematics or mathematical physics or any numerical problem, you try to understand that what information is given to you and what you need to show. So you have to verify Lagrange mean value theorem. So you have to show the Lagrange mean value theorem is valid here. That is, f is continuous, f is differentiable, and if these two conditions are satisfied, so you get some c value. Now what is given? Fx equals to x square and the interval. So here given fx equals to x square and AB is 1, 5. Okay, so that is, we can say a equals to 1, b equals to 5. Now it is a polynomial function. So as f is a polynomial function, so it must be continuous and differentiable. Okay, so first condition 1 and condition 2 is satisfied. So now we have to, so now there exists C belongs to open interval 1, 5 such that f dash C equals to f of b, that is f of 5 minus f of 1 divided by 5 minus 1. You have to show that. Now what is f dash of C? You see that is twice C, because f dash of x is twice x, so it is twice C. f of 5 means 25 minus 1 divided by 4. So C value will be, this is 24 by 4, 6, C value will be 3. So now you see 3 lies between 1 and 5. So Lagrange mean value theorem is justified here. So that's all for this class. So hope you like this class. Today's class we try to discuss about Rolle's theorem and Lagrange mean value theorem. So what is my suggestion is that whatever be the function, whatever be the things, you don't worry about the function and you don't try to mug up the theorem. You try to understand the theorem using some proper diagram as per your convenient. Try to draw some diagram using color so that you can remember it. The picture should be there in your mind. Then you can solve any problem related to that one. Okay, that's all for this class. Thank you very much.